Well, hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the tarot reading for serious tarot readers or observers or participants. Pick and choose whichever one you want. This is not like your typical tarot reading. I don't throw out a bunch of cards. There's only 5 as you see on the screen. There's no movement, no animation. You're not going to see me. I'm an old guy. You don't want to see me. So forget that. What you do want to see, however, is my 20 years plus doing tarot and my 50 years plus doing astrology. By the way, astrology is the science of cycles. Very powerful tool. Equally, the science of tarot talks about potential. Cycles for astrology, potential for tarot. And the reason I say potential is because, as you see on your screen, you got 5 cards. I only need 5. Probably I could do less than 5, but I think from a visual point, the 5 cards makes a nice complete visual. You take each one of those, you tell a story. But at the end of the story, you're talking about a frequency. And that frequency is what is important. Now, to be perfectly honest, when you do a reading like this, or an astrological reading, tarot reading, numerology reading, doesn't make any difference. You only really connect, that is, motivate 10 to maybe 20% of the people who are viewing it. Let's say you have 100 people, easy numbers, right? So that means somewhere between 10 and 20 people out of the 100 will really resonate with this frequency. Now, that doesn't mean the other 80 aren't going to pull something helpful or whatever from the reading, but the frequency at the end of the 12, 13 minutes, whatever it takes, that'll move you. That'll move the needle. It'll touch you. For that 10 to 20%, that is your door towards potential. Now, by definition, potential means it doesn't have to materialize. You can just say, the hell with it, I'm not going to do it. Or you can embrace it. For the 80% who doesn't pick up on it, there's always tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month or whatever. You're going to match up. The frequency and you are going to match up. When they do, my advice is to activate that potential. Get off your ass and in some way or another activate that frequency of the day. Don't get up. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Not a problem if it doesn't really knock your socks off today. That's fine. No tarot reader or even astrology reader will tell you what I just told you about the 80-20 thing or the 90-10 thing. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to put it out there like, it's going to hit everybody. And you notice with the readings, they throw a whole bunch of stuff at you. With its tarot readers, it's more cards. What it does is confuse the issue, confuse the energy. With astrology, it's much more difficult because you're dealing with cycles within cycles within cycles. And so what you need is a reader who can tune into those cycles, not just dump it all on you. Here, Mercury's doing this, and your moon is squaring this, and the sun is conjunct with Jupiter. It doesn't mean anything. What's the story? How can you use it? How can you benefit? In fact, in many cases, I think many of the astrological readings are too long. Pick a couple of key ideas. You're an astrologer. You know what the hell you're looking at. Pick a couple of key ideas and set up a storyline. And that's what I do here with the tarot. I could throw you 100 cards. All it would do is confuse you. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to focus you. That's why there's no external anything. 5 cards. Boom. That's it. And within about a dozen minutes, 12, 13 minutes, something like that, I will give you a story. And that story contains an energy, a frequency. Does it resonate or does it not? You'll know right away. Again, if it does, act on it. If it doesn't, okay, tomorrow. So let's take a look at the readings for today. Middle card, new life. New life. Now, we had a very, something like that yesterday, New Beginnings or something like that. No, co-create. That's what it was, co-create. Well, this is sort of the same thing, said a little differently. New life. And you see, this gal here is like, she's stretching, starting her day, kind of a thing. And the idea of her stretching is significant because it means that you're going to have to stretch. That's not always easy, not always pleasant, but that's what's required. You're going to have to do some stretching, mentally, physically, spiritually. Got to do something emotionally. Number just to the left of her is 39. 3 in Manifested Tarot reading is not a third party. It is you lining up your Trinity, your mind, your body, and your spirit. Each one of those has their own separate individual frequency. Usually they are at odds. Certainly they're not in synchronicity. One is operating at one level, one is operating at another level, and the third is operating someplace else, and it's just like all over the place. And of course, with what we're going through right now in society around the world, that is being magnified because it is a way for the master puppeteers to control us. More confused we are, the easier we are to manipulate. So that 3 in the 39, lining up the mind, body, and spirit energies. Or at least get them closer to alignment. The 9 means endings. Getting ready for new beginnings. And if you add the 3 and 9 together, that equals 12, which is combining the two numbers, a 3 again. It's the alignment, the new life, the stretching. That is the effort that you have to make to line up the energy of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Get them all working together. It's going to take, we're going to have to get out of the comfort zone on some level, or levels, maybe more than one. But again, stretching will be required. So there's got to be some effort. But of course, Manifested Tarot is potential. Well, you're getting a chance to see your potential. Let's go all the way to the left. The card to the left is Judgment. Judgment, people run away from it because they don't like the idea. You're judging me. You're judging me. In this case, you judge yourself. Remember I said you have to stretch? It's an awakening. It's a rebirth. It's a new perspective. And if you line the mind, body, spirit energies up just right, it's a little more. It's an inner calling. In other words, the Judgment card is saying right now, once you get your mind, body, spirit energy, your human trinity lined up, the frequencies all working together, it will become very evident, very obvious that stuff's got to be fixed. Things are way, 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 way out of proportion. And you need to bring them back. Now, you're not going to fix society all by yourself, but that's not being asked. It's align your own energy. When you align your own energies, now you're operating at a different frequency. You begin to attract different people, different circumstances. Maybe you even inspire somebody to align their frequencies, and they change. Remember, I said at the beginning, maybe 10% or 20% of the people hearing this will feel the frequency. If you get that 10 or 20% working on changing themselves, bringing new life, new vision, new potential, new possibilities to themselves, they're going to affect a whole bunch of other people. And that's how we change the world. But you have to do something. One of my biggest complaints with humanity right now is we've been sitting on our ass doing nothing but bitching and complaining. We keep voting in the same politicians. We don't study. We don't know what they stand for. We don't do anything. We just go, well, I recognize that person. Let me vote again. This is not a time for that. You want freedom? You're going to have to take the responsibility that freedom demands. Not asks for, demands. That's the stretching. That's the reload. That's the new life. Got a quote here that'll be our meme for the day, an Anishinaabe prophecy, an American Indian tribe, Anishinaabe, a prophecy. It's called the prophecy of the eighth fire. It says, they will come to a fork in the road. One road will lead to materialism and destruction. For almost all living creatures, this may be the way they go, but the other road will lead to a spiritual way, upon which the native people will be standing. This path will lead to the lighting of the eighth fire, a period of eternal peace, harmony, and a new earth, where the destruction and damage from the past will be healed. So in essence, the Anishinaabe, through this prophecy of the eighth fire, are seeing the same thing, new life. But you got to make a choice. Which way are you going to go? Things or people? The next card is the Two of Cups. Choose people. Choose people. Invest in yourself, invest in humanity, and do it with enthusiasm, the Queen of Wands. Do it with enthusiasm. The possibility, the potential. You're going to have to judge the situation. Which way are you going to go? Then you're going to have to support yourself in a loving, positive way. Not a way that necessarily feels good or comfortable, but is positive, supportive of human beings. So that you can grab that positivity, that enthusiasm from the wands, because the final card is the Tower card. Shit is going to hit the fan. You know that. You see that already. There is so much organized bad stuff going on. Boy, did I clean that up. So much organized bad stuff going on that virtually every organization in the world is evil. Government's bad. Business is bad. I find it kind of interesting when people, if we get into this discussion, and some of the people I know, we do have this discussion regularly. Who are the worst people in the world? Well, first of all, the people who have power. You can see what they've done to the world. But I find it fascinating that in the New Testament, there is only one group that Jesus gets physical with. He punches, he pushes, he kicks. Only one group. The bankers. Money changers in the temple. They are the ones that are pulling the strings. And that's why you notice everybody all over the world fall in line. You are at a point of decision. You cannot walk away from it. If you choose to, it's done. And that's not a good thing. If you decide to start to reload a new life, a new perspective, a new understanding in you, that starts us down the road of the prophecy of the eighth fire. We have a chance to fix it. But we have an equal chance to screw it up. Our choice, your choice. New life, reload, or wait for your destruction. It's coming. The Tower moment is here. It's either you do it internally or it happens to you externally, and you don't want it externally. That's the reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another Tao Manifested reading. Between now and the next time we get together to do Manifesting Tarot, peace and blessings.